What's something you didn't understand till it happened to you? Why people stay in abusive relationships. You don't realize you are slowly being destroyed until it's too late. How it feels to lose a loved one completely out of the blue, with no chance to say goodbye. When I was younger, I never understood why people enjoyed a boring life. And now that's literally all I look forward to. I would give anything for just a normal boring night over chaos. Sitting at home with my normal boring family and my normal boring dogs. Not out at a bar or a club trying to impress people that I don't know or care about. My life is incredible now, and it's the most boring it's ever been. I don't have social media, besides Reddit. And I don't drink anymore. Boyfriend is a recovering alcoholic. And most nights I'm falling asleep on my couch by 11 p.m. It's fucking wonderful. That you can't power through grief and just decide you're over something and are ready to move on. Grief goes at its own pace, whether you're tired of being crushed by it or not. Freezing during a sexual assault. I used to be someone who always wondered why they didn't run, scream, say no or fight back. Now I know why. I expected how much your mind can shut down during sexual harassment and how you can enter a haze of confusion, even when your instincts and alarm bells are screaming at you. What I didn't expect was how ashamed you may feel about that shutdown. Panic attacks. I feel like until you have one it is impossible to imagine how scary and severe they are. I've had one in my life and I hope to never have another one. I've said it before and I'll say it many times over again. You cannot appreciate how awfully ableist our society is and what exclusion feels like until you become disabled, yourself. Postpartum depression. Being a new mom is nothing like the media portrays. They always show the brightness and joy, but never the stress and darkness that hit some mothers. So before becoming a mom, like many other I judged, until it happened to me. Sometimes love isn't enough. How fucked up the socialization of women is. I thought I knew better than to be the quiet doormat to a manchild since my parents were both educated, stressed the importance of equality, and I was educated as well. Turns out watching my mother do everything in the house on top of working more and earning more than my dad and her putting up with it impacted me more than her empty words of equality. That miscarriage is inconsolable by others and it's a time thing. The effects of sleep deprivation. You don't realize for how long someone can function with a little sleep, a lot, and also how tired they feel, very much. It's easy to dismiss someone who is sleep deprived, such as new parents, because it seems like they can still more or less do everything. How you can love your kids unconditionally with unending love and simultaneously want to run screaming from them at the same time. Super broke for a period of time. How expensive it is to be broke. How a breakup feels like a death bereavement. Watching dementia slowly take over someone you love. Pet grief. Honestly hurt more than some human loss I've dealt with. Chronic illness. I remember seeing a commercial for medicine for Crohn's and UC. Didn't know what it was and remember thinking that sounds awful and those poor people. Hope I never get anything like that. A year later diagnosed with UC out the blue. No risk factors, FAM-HX, no way to prevent it. Just boom. Life-changing diagnosis. I get it now. Having a child struggle with mental health. It was the most agonizing time of my life. I could not love her through it. I could not fix it for her. I was just a bystander watching one of the people I love most in this world suffering. Thankfully, she is much better today, but I'm still fearful that we will end up in that situation again someday. My heart goes out to any parent or spouse or sibling who experiences this. Sounds daft, but the whole blink and your kids are suddenly grown up thing feels really real. Sex. Or specifically, good sex. I had a friend that was super sexual and at one point, it was just obnoxious. Then I met someone who exploded my entire body, and I was like, ooh, now I get it. Migraines. I just thought they were a bad headache until I started getting chronic ones and they're no joke. Mental illness. Cheating. I used to think that women who let themselves go, or weren't great in bed or just horrible people got cheated on. In short, that women were responsible for that. Wow. Was I so wrong? I remember thinking as a naive 19-year-old that I would never be cheated on because I always went for the guys who were respectful and not the typical player, F-boy guy. Then I learned the hard way that some people are just good at hiding their bad behaviors. Grooming. When you are getting groomed, you can't comprehend the situation and become so vulnerable. Once you are out of it, only then you see everything that was wrong.